really do.
And that's just scratching the tip of the iceberg.
Right. It's a beautiful testimony. I mean, I'm happy you're on here on the truth. And that's the truth of Yemi, Pastor Yemi.
That's part of the truth. How did I get into this? I used to be, I was pursuing a profession in aviation, and then I became a drug addict. I was doing about $5,000 a week of cocaine, freebasing $5,000 a week of cocaine, and it destroyed my life. I lost everything, and in a nutshell, to a point where, because of the family I come from and the name my family carries out in Nigeria, I became an embarrassment to my family and a national figure, because then all the drug users were still in the closet, so to speak. And things got really very, very bad, and I ended up going crazy and living on the streets, sleeping under a bridge in Lagos. And I started praying to kill myself, and God just would not let me die. And tried to kill myself 3 times, and on the 3rd attempt I took a whole load of Valium, which should have been enough to kill an elephant, and slipped into a coma. And 3 days later, the Lord brought me out of the coma, and I was broken. And I said to the Lord, and I'd given my life to the Lord 7 years before this, and I said, Lord, I'm tired. You know, I've been a failure at everything. Messed up my profession, messed up my relationships, messed up my businesses, just failed in everything. And, you know, you've hit rock bottom when you fail trying to kill yourself. I said, Lord, even trying to kill myself, I'm a failure at that too. And I said, Lord, I do believe in you. I've always believed. I was brought up in the Anglican church, which to you would be the Episcopalian church. And I have no doubt that you died for me, and that you rose, and that you're alive. So I said, Lord, if you will work a miracle in my life, I will serve you forever. Now, I've been a drug addict for 15 years. You name it, I've done it. From marijuana to cocaine. I was freebasing cocaine. And when I was here over 20 years ago, I was doing $5,000 a week. So you can imagine what I was doing in Nigeria. And I'd slow down with heroin, and I did everything. I didn't come from a poor family, so I was exposed to everything in different parts of the world. I was educated in England, went to university here in Daytona Beach, Florida. So I did everything. So I was in a coma for about 3 days and came out and I said, Lord, if you work a miracle in my life, I'll serve you forever. And the Lord spoke to me and he said, remember 3 years ago, I told you to go to Ghana, to leave your profession, to leave your family, to leave your people, to leave your nation, and to go to Ghana. Will you go now? And 3 years ago, when the Lord had spoken that to me, I was actually in a psychiatric hospital praying, and I was in there because I was a danger to my life and a danger to society, and I'd lost it. But for some reason, God had his hand on me, and every morning in this loony bin, I would lead morning devotion and preach the word to all these loonies. And these guys were getting healed. They were getting healed, and they were getting delivered, and they were getting discharged out of the hospital. And I just got so heartbroken because here was I doing all this, and I'm stuck in this hole, and these people are getting healed. So I was crying out to God, get me out of here. And he said, leave everything. Go to Ghana under the ministry of, he's now Archbishop Duncan Williams. And And I refused. And I said, well, what the excuse was, Lord, well, if this is really you speaking, then confirm your word. Out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word of God is established, so confirm your word. At that same moment, my sister and a couple of pastors were praying, and she received the prophetic word that I should go to Ghana. So 2 pastors come to see me that afternoon, and they said, well, God was speaking to us this morning when we were praying, and they said, this is the word. God says you should leave everything and go to Ghana. And it hit me with full force, and I thought, go to Ghana? Leave this place to go to some outback country in the middle of nowhere? So I thought, and to do what? To go to Bible school? I don't want to be a pastor. I'm a pilot. I want to fly. And then if you want me to go to Bible school, then let me go to ORU. Why some outback Bible school in the middle of nowhere? So I rejected the call. And so for the next 3 years, here's God beating me up. Whom the Lord loveth, he chastiseth. So I went through hell to the point where I started trying to commit suicide. And then went through this whole process. And so the Lord said to me, remember 3 years ago I told you to go to Ghana, will you go now? And I said, Lord, yes, I will go. And after going through a 3-month period of rehab, I get onto an aircraft to fly to Ghana. And ironically speaking, as the aircraft reaches an altitude of 23,000 feet, I feel the power of God come upon me. And a huge weight just lifts off me. And in 1 second, the Lord had set me free from years and years of drug addiction that destroyed everything and took everything I ever had out of my life. It got to the point where I used to walk down the streets naked, begging for money in the traffic. And that's how bad I had sunk to. And the Lord delivered me out of that in 1 minute, just by answering and accepting the call of God upon my life. And that's how I left my profession and got called into ministry, and that's what God did. And the next 3 years God spent preparing me in Bible school. And so I lived in Ghana for 7 years under the ministry of Archbishop Duncan Williams. That's called Action Chapel International. And then from there the Lord sent me to the Republic of Benin, where I've been in the last 10 years. And I've just moved back into Nigeria to do some apostolic work there, while overseeing all the churches we have planted in the Republic of Benin. That's basically my story, the truth.
Beautiful. Thank you.
So I'm glad to be here. And I hope that we'll meet again.
Yes. Thank you for coming.